On a crisp evening in Los Angeles, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm golden hue over the bustling city, Elon Musk found himself driving home after a long day of meetings. His mind was a whirlwind of ideas about the future of technology and sustainable living, yet a certain restlessness lingered in his soul. Despite his groundbreaking projects, he often wondered if he was truly making a difference on a human level. As he navigated the streets in his sleek Tesla Model S, something caught his eye. A figure huddled on the sidewalk, clutching a small child. It was a woman, clearly homeless, her clothes worn, and her face etched with exhaustion. Despite her dire situation, she whispered comforting words to her child, trying to shield him from the harsh realities of their life. Elon felt a tug at his heart, a sensation he hadn't experienced in a long time. He pulled over, watching the woman from the comfort of his car as the world rushed by, indifferent to her plight. After a moment, he stepped out and approached her gently. "Excuse me," he said softly, not wanting to startle her. The woman looked up, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and fatigue. "Are you okay?" he asked. She hesitated, unsure whether to trust him. "We're just trying to get by," she finally whispered. "It's been hard and I don't know what else to do." Her words were laced with desperation, and Elon could see the pain in her eyes. He knelt beside her, trying to meet her gaze, showing her he wasn't just another passerby. "How long have you been out here?" he inquired. She sighed, glancing at her child who was dozing in her arms. "A few months. We lost everything. My husband passed away, and I've been trying to hold on for my son. But it's hard. I just don't know how much longer we can do this." Elon's heart broke for her. Here she was, struggling to survive, while the world around her seemed oblivious. He knew he couldn't just walk away. "What's your name?" he asked softly. "Anna," she replied, her voice trembling. "Anna," Elon said, "I know things seem impossible right now, but I want to help. I can't imagine what you've been through, but I believe there's always hope. Let me do something for you and your son." Anna looked at him, confused and unsure if this was real or some cruel trick. Elon stood up, taking out his phone. "There's a project we've been working on at Tesla. A tiny house that's completely off, grid, sustainable, and powered by solar energy. It's designed to be a home for people who need a fresh start, a place where they can live comfortably." Anna stared at him, her eyes wide in disbelief. "A house? But I can't afford—" "You won't have to pay for anything," Elon interrupted gently. "Consider it a gift. You and your son deserve a safe place to call home. You've been through enough." Tears welled up in Anna's eyes as she clutched her son closer. "I don't know what to say," she whispered. "No one has ever done something like this for us." "You don't have to say anything," Elon replied with a warm smile. "Just know that this is the beginning of something better." Over the next few days, Elon made all the arrangements. The Tesla tiny house was delivered and set up in a quiet, safe area where Anna and her son could finally have some stability. The house was equipped with solar panels, a water filtration system, and everything they needed to live comfortably. When Anna and her son saw their new home for the first time, they were speechless. The tiny house, though small, was beautifully designed, modern, sleek, and filled with light. It was more than they ever could have imagined. Elon visited them shortly after the house was delivered, wanting to see their reaction firsthand. As he stood in front of the tiny house, watching Anna and her son explore their new home, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. A deep sense of fulfillment. This wasn't about innovation or pushing the boundaries of technology. This was about using what he had built to make a real difference in someone's life. Anna walked over to him, tears streaming down her face. "Thank you," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "You've given us more than just a home. You've given us hope." Elon smiled, his own eyes glistening with emotion. "You deserve it, both of you. And remember, this is just the beginning. Things will get better from here." As he drove away that evening, Elon couldn't help but reflect on how such a simple act of kindness had such a profound impact. It reminded him that despite all the complexities of his world, the projects, the innovations, the relentless pursuit of progress, sometimes the most important thing he could do was connect with others on a human level. Anna and her son had been invisible to the world, but in helping them, Elon realized that it wasn't just about changing the future with technology. It was about changing lives today. And that, he thought, was what truly mattered. In the months that followed, Anna's story became an inspiration to many. The Tesla tiny house project gained attention, and more units were built to help families in similar situations. It was a small step, but it was a step in the right direction. A reminder that even in a world driven by innovation, compassion would always have a place. Elon continued to check in on Anna and her son from time to time, always humbled by their resilience and strength. They had found a sense of stability, a new beginning, all because someone had stopped to listen, to see them, to help. And in the end, that was the greatest success of all. Months went by, and Anna began to thrive. With the security of a home, she was able to focus on finding work again. She started applying to jobs and eventually secured a position as a receptionist at a local clinic. It wasn't glamorous, but it was enough to get her back on her feet. She could finally breathe a little easier, knowing that her son had a safe place to sleep at night, food on the table, and a future that didn't seem as uncertain as before. Every time Elon checked in, he saw more progress. Her son, who had once been shy and withdrawn, now ran around the yard of their Tesla tiny house, laughing and playing like any other child his age. He had started school, and Anna beamed with pride as she showed Elon the latest drawings he had made in class, proudly displayed on the refrigerator. Anna often spoke about how this experience had changed her perspective on life. "I used to feel invisible," she admitted to Elon one day. "Like no matter how hard I tried, no one cared. But now I know that there are people out there who do care. You've shown me that." For Elon, hearing this was deeply moving. He had spent his life building companies that aimed to change the world on a massive scale. But here, in this small, unassuming house, was proof that even the smallest gesture could have an extraordinary impact. It reminded him that as much as he wanted to revolutionize space travel or create sustainable energy solutions, there was just as much value in helping individuals, one at a time. As time went on, Anna began volunteering at a local homeless shelter in her spare time. She would bring her son with her, wanting him to understand the importance of giving back, just as Elon had done for them. She spoke to the women and families who were in the same position she had once been in, offering words of encouragement and hope. "If I can get through it, so can you," she would tell them, her voice filled with empathy. "There are people who care. Don't give up." Elon was proud to see how far Anna had come. She was no longer the frightened, exhausted woman he had met on that cold night. she had become a beacon of hope for others, a testament to the power of kindness and perseverance. Her son, too, was flourishing. He had started making friends, excelling in school, and, as Anna proudly told Elon during one visit, had dreams of becoming an engineer. Just like you, she had said with a smile, making Elon chuckle. One day, Elon invited Anna and her son to visit one of the Tesla factories. It was something he did for special guests, people who had inspired him in some way. Anna's son was over the moon with excitement, unable to believe he was going to see where Tesla cars were made. As they toured the factory, Elon explained the intricacies of the machines, the precision of the robots, and the vision behind the company. The boy listened intently, his eyes wide with awe. At the end of the tour, as they stood outside, Elon knelt down to the boy's level. "You know," he said, "I started with nothing too. I worked hard, I stayed curious, and I never gave up. If you keep working hard and learning, there's nothing you can't do." The boy nodded, a determined look on his face. "I want to be like you," he said. "I want to build things that make the world better." Elon smiled, deeply touched by the boy's words. "And you will," he said. "You already have what it takes." Years went by, and while Elon's world remained filled with the constant pressure of innovation and progress, he never forgot about Anna and her son. They stayed in touch, sharing updates on their lives, and every time he saw them, he was reminded of why he had started down this path in the first place: to make the world a better place for everyone. Eventually, Anna was able to save up enough money to move out of the Tesla tiny house and into a larger home. It was a modest house, but it was hers, bought with her hard-earned money. When she told Elon the news, he couldn't have been prouder. "You've come a long way," he said, shaking her hand. "You did this." Anna smiled, her eyes full of gratitude. "I couldn't have done it without you," she said, her voice choked with emotion. Elon, always humble in moments like these, shook his head. "You had it in you all along. I just gave you a little push." As Anna and her son settled into their new life, Elon found himself reflecting on their journey often. It was one thing to dream of changing the world, but another to see the direct impact of compassion in action. He had given Anna a second chance, but in doing so, she had given him something too, a reminder of the power of empathy, of taking the time to see the people around us, and of how much one small act of kindness can ripple outwards. This experience inspired Elon in ways he hadn't expected. He began exploring ways to expand the Tesla tiny house project, ensuring that more families in need could have access to affordable, sustainable housing. It became a passion project for him, something that reminded him of the human side of his work. Every time a new tiny house was delivered to a family in need, Elon felt a sense of fulfillment that no financial success or business triumph could ever match. In the end, the story of Elon Musk and Anna wasn't just about one act of kindness. It was about the potential we all have to make a difference in the lives of others. It was a story of resilience, of hope, and of the belief that no matter how big or small we are, we all have the power to change the world in our own way. And for Elon, that was the greatest success of all. He had spent his life reaching for the stars, but in helping Anna, he had found something even more valuable. If you enjoyed this story, please like and comment too. Subscribe to Elderly Wisdom for more captivating tales. What do you think should have happened? Share your thoughts below. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories from elderly wisdom.